Everything in the whole world, video-wise, is moving toward 4K. What is 4K? 4K is the higher resolution, essentially, for your monitors, for your TVs, for video, for gaming, etc., that is now becoming the standard. And so if you have older monitors that are maybe regular HD, or are just full HD, or even are just 2K, an upgrade for monitors up to 4K will help future-proof you and will help make it so that if you buy a monitor today, it'll actually last you for 5 or more years in terms of the resolution and the features. And so the monitor that I purchased when I decided to upgrade was this one right here that I'm using right in my studio right in front of me. It is the Acer Predator XB273K 27-inch 4K monitor. This thing is a beast. It is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. And the reason why I'm recommending it is that it's affordable. That's actually the main reason why I bought it. So a lot of 4K monitors are not affordable. They cost $1,000+ You might not have $1,000+ This monitor is way under $1,000. And it still has all the features that you would want from a 4K monitor that is over $1,000. It's 4K. It's got NVIDIA G-Sync. It can be VESA mounted, which means that you can mount it to your wall or mount it to a mount. It's got HDR 400. And here's the crazy thing. The refresh rate on this monitor is, drum roll please, 144 hertz. What does that mean? If you don't understand what that means, let me just break it down for you really simple. When you're looking at your monitor, it's constantly refreshing, right? It's constantly refreshing the data that's right in front of you to show it to you, right? So your monitor may have a 30 hertz refresh rate, which means basically 30 times per second it's cycling and refreshing the image on the screen. If your monitor has a 60 hertz refresh rate, that means 60 times per second it's cycling and refreshing the information on the screen to make it show up in front of you. This monitor does that 144 times per freaking second. Why is that important? Well, that is particularly important for gaming because when you're playing games, frames win games, as they say. And if you have double the amount of frames to work with when you're playing a game against somebody else, then you are more likely to have an advantage. You'll have smoother movement on the screen, you'll have smoother gameplay, and you'll have an advantage of being able to click and do something faster and more effectively than the people you're competing against. But other features that are on this monitor that are really important is NVIDIA G-Sync. So what does that mean? Do you guys have an NVIDIA graphics card? Probably. They're the best graphics cards. And NVIDIA G-Sync allows you to plug into the display port on your computer into this monitor. And instead of having these little vertical sync bars going chunk, 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 chunk on your screen, if you're really pumping up the graphics, you'll have perfect on your screen instead, using this G-Sync technology that makes it so that you can sync up your screen. And this little picture just kind of illustrates why having a good refresh rate is good. So if you're doing like 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, the movement in games in particular will be sloppy. But if you have 144 frames, it'll look perfect pretty much every single frame. And that's why these super high refresh rates are great. It's got VESA certified display HDR 400. What does that mean? It basically means that the colors are brighter and crisper on this monitor than if it didn't have HDR. As you can see, this side, no HDR. This side, HDR. HDR, good. But here's a really interesting thing about the design of this monitor. Not only can you swivel it up and down, and does it have this cool stand, but it's got this shutter on it. See the shutter on the side over there? So as you can see in my space, I'm not using the shutter on the monitor. You can use it if you want. If you have a space with a lot of glare, if you have a space with like big bright windows like I have, and you're concerned about there being glare on your monitor, the shutters install on the tops, the sides, and what have you, and it'll eliminate glare on your monitor so you can only see the content on the monitor. Personally, I don't use them, but if you're in an extremely bright space and you're being blinded, then the shutters on the side and those guards, those shields that come with it, could be a useful feature for you. Love them. I just love the fact that that's an option. And do you see how freaking big the shutters are? They're huge, dude. So if there's light pouring in from the side from somewhere, like you just put this on here and all of a sudden your monitor is going to be like perfect and beautiful, no glare, no loss of quality, which is really, really interesting. And here's the way it looks from the top. You see how the shutters kind of work? They can extend out on the side there and eliminate a lot of the light there. Really, really cool design. Really unique design, in my opinion, for a monitor. I absolutely love it. So the Acer Predator line of monitors, as you can see from this footage, they're going to show you over here what G-Sync looks like and what high resolution looks like. The marketing materials are going to communicate one thing, and you guys just need to be aware of, what they're communicating here is obviously to market the monitor. I'm going to tell you from my experience, the HDR does increase the brightness and interest of the monitor. I will tell you that the high resolution on the monitor obviously is a massive improvement versus something like 1080p. And I will tell you that the NVIDIA G-Sync functionality on this monitor is wonderful. It really makes it so that if you want to vertical sync your monitor, it's nearly perfect if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. So if you're looking to upgrade your monitor situation to the future, to 4K, if you're looking to upgrade your situation to HDR, if you're looking to upgrade your situation for a reasonable price, that's why I bought this monitor. It is a reasonable price for a high-end 4K gaming monitor, or at least high-end 4K gaming monitor features. Make sense? That's why I use it right here in my studio as my primary monitor I use every single day for consulting calls, for gaming, for video editing, for streaming, and even for showing you products and stuff like on this live stream. I'm using this monitor to do all of that. And that's why I recommend it to you. It's because I'm using it. And I can tell you from experience, I've put in about 1,000 hours on this monitor so far. I love it. That's it. That's the Acer Predator monitor right there, guys. Pretty cool monitor. I like that monitor a lot.